All right.
Mm-hmm.
So next section will be about settling in the U.S.
Okay.
So, what was the first thing you remembered about coming to America?
The first thing I remembered, landing at San Francisco Airport, that there were taller people, different looking people than what I'm used to in the Philippines. So we don't see a lot, or I didn't grow up in an area where we see foreigners, people who actually spoke different languages.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in the Philippines, you meet people that spoke different dialects, but they're from the Philippines. So here, landing in the airport, we saw all kinds of people that spoke different language and looked different than me,
Oh, okay.
which I didn't really think of much until I landed at San Francisco Airport and saw a variety of, or a diverse culture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What were your first impressions of the U.S.?
Cold. I think it's supposed to be, I guess, the transition from summer to fall. But so when my oldest sister, who was already here, she actually was at the airport to meet us, and she had sweaters available for us because it was cold, and she knew that we wouldn't have packed any jacket and not expect the difference in that climate and weather. So yeah, I thought it was cold and wore a jacket all the time. Couldn't wear any more sleeveless clothing because we had to acclimate with the cold, freezing weather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you first settle and why there?
We first settled in Oakland, California, and that's where my oldest sister was living at the time with her husband. And so we stayed there for a while, but my dad actually had a small studio apartment in San Francisco, in Chinatown to be exact. So because my sister was going to work, she goes to work. She also had kids that were still not back in school because it was in the summer fall break before school started. So we settled there so that we can help her take care of her children while she went to work, and then transition or find until she could find someone else to babysit them or take care of them.
Oh, okay.
And then soon after that, we moved to my dad's small studio apartment in San Francisco.
Where in San Francisco was this?
In Chinatown, Stockton Street.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Stockton Street.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
That was pretty interesting because we had a not even a queen size bed, but it was it might even be a twin size bed where we all shared sleeping.
Really?
Yes. We didn't have our own kitchen to cook in, so we were either going out in the neighborhood. It's a short walk to all kinds of Chinese restaurants and all other restaurants. It's a short walk to North Beach, so there was always places to eat. But we didn't have the luxury of having our own kitchen to cook. So it was a transition for a pretty big transition for us to get used to.
Oh.
But because we have mom and dad and myself and my brother, we felt close knit family.
Mm-hmm.